and they have the will to exercise their voices.
Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says early voting shows people do have access to the ballot box. At least 3.2 million people have early voted. More than 2 million in person and more than 1 million absentee ballots have been returned.
In 2016, the presidential race, we had 4.1 total votes. Right now, we're at 3.2, so we're at over 75% of people have already voted of what we saw in 2016, if that gives you some measure of success.
Raffensperger has been holding daily press briefings to show his office is out in front.
Our election is functioning well because voters have information.
Flashback to the June primary, where there were long lines in several large counties and some problems with the new voting system. Raffensperger faced some criticism then, but says there are no problems now.
Because I can assure you, the national media, they'd be anxious to find a voting-related story that suggests we're having a crisis here in Georgia.
To avoid issues on Election Day, he's promising more equipment technicians at precincts and more poll workers.
Our team recruited more than 50,000 volunteers.
Despite the early voting numbers, he does anticipate up to 2 million people will still vote on November 3rd.
And just think about that kind of, rush. And so there will be lines.
He encourages people who can to still early vote this week in person and says if you have an absentee ballot, it's probably too late to mail it.
And if that was me, I'd be filling that thing out today, and I'd be running it down to finding an absentee ballot drop box or taking it to your election official to make sure they got it in there.
He says they're working every day to ensure one thing.
Your vote counts.
Joanne Merrigan, WSAV News 3, on your side.